All right, hello everybody. Our group consists of Carly, Sylvia, and Adriana, and today we'll be discussing our marketing campaign for the Stoller family estate. Of course, with COVID-19, it has affected a lot of businesses, especially local and small businesses. And so we will be talking about how the Stoller estate family has the opportunity to pivot themselves to cater to the public as it reopens its doors. So, as the Stoller estate family welcomes back guests to their wine tasting rooms, they still want to engage with them and give them a great wine tasting experience. So with that in mind, of course, safety is number one. And their goal is to continue to serve their customers and be there to celebrate life's special moments. Of course, they want to do this safely and following the CDC guidelines. We have seen other restaurants internationally, specifically in Paris, where they have turned their dining experience into unique opportunities. There's a restaurant in Paris who created plexi pods where customers can dine, but they have like a lampshade kind of prototype that it's see-through, but of course you're guarded. And that's more of an attempt to keep customers safe and of course keep their business running now that businesses are starting to reopen. So we will be talking about our prototype called the Stoller Pavilions and how the Stoller estate family can benefit from these. So we'll go to the next slide.
All right, so looking into how we could accomplish some of these goals with our idea, we looked into outdoor protected pavilions for individual groups of customers. And this is kind of a seamless add-on to the existing patio of the Stoller Winery, but has 5 individual structures with glass on 3 slides and also glass in between the yards. And so visually it's meant to work with the architecture. And so on the next slide, we can kind of see how these structures would be overlooking the views that Stoller Family Estate has to offer. They would kind of be meant for the groups of 2 to 4 people, and kind of from an aerial view, you can see that there's even spacing in between them that would correlate with CDC guidelines for social distancing. And so looking at the needs that we wanted to address for the customer, these involve safety, health, weather, providing normalcy, social opportunity, and of course, providing them wine. Some of the features are these glass surrounding that limit moisture transmission. The roof allows for the users to use it through all seasons, including rain. And there's just having the seamless extension of the building is important to keeping the true Stoller experience, while also being able to separate groups of individuals and keeping them with who they traveled with, and also keeping it a short walk from the main building so that they can go and purchase wine.
So Stoller's target market operates under the all-encompassing kind of wine enthusiast umbrella. And more specifically, some of Stoller's stated values, including sustainability and energy efficiency, draw specific groups or types of people to the venue. And then these tribes include those who are environmentally friendly, kind of the tree hugger group. Stoller is one of the first live certified wineries in the world and is the first LEED gold certified winery in the world. Both of these certifications are prestigious and reduce the amount of energy it takes to make wine. And additionally, Stoller obtained B Corp status, which acts as a check and balance system, ensuring that they stick to its sustainability promises. And then the other tribe is cost conscious. According to a study done by the Willamette Valley Winery Association, Willamette Valley wine tourists generally purchase less expensive bottles of wine with higher frequency, like weekly or monthly. And then a significant number of wine tourists, quote unquote, are from Oregon. And then the third tribe would be outdoorsy. And also, according to the Willamette Valley Winery Association, identifying as an outdoor-oriented person is an indicator for wine tourists in the region where Stoller operates. It's also worth stating that gaining demographic information for Stoller specifically was challenging. There was much more information available for Willamette Valley in general, which includes Stoller. The average age of wine tourists in the valley is 51 years old. And then also 51% of interviewees were female, while 46% were male. So that indicates that Stoller's target market is vast in both age and gender. We can go to the next slide.
So how can Stoller Estate establish itself with this new wine tasting experience and set themselves apart from all the other wineries that are popular in Oregon? And the way they can do that is through their value proposition by highlighting the unique features that these pavilions offer compared to everybody else. So for the value proposition of these pavilions, the main focus is providing a safer wine tasting experience. So when wine enthusiasts use our pavilions instead of traditional large tasting rooms, guests at Stoller Family Estate can feel safe and create memories with their friends and families because our pavilions are hygienic, scenic, and offer a premium wine tasting experience. And we'll go on to the next slide.
All right, and so we wanted to point out that this opportunity for Stoller is in operating in a blue ocean market. Currently, the wine experience in local Oregon wineries is a very homogeneous market, and so this kind of offers a new opportunity for the wining experience outdoors, and no matter the weather, and staying safe. And kind of similar to what has mentioned before of the different European cafes that have implemented plexiglass structures, this is a first for wineries. So looking at positioning, we wanted to look at the competition in terms of public and exclusivity and also price versus affordability. And we do recognize that Stoller would be moving slightly, positioning themselves a little bit more exclusive, specifically with these pavilions because there are only 5 and they probably would end up on a reservation basis and also potentially related to membership.
Okay, so Stoller is a business to customer or B2C business. It uses internal services to grow, produce, and sell its product, which is wine, directly to the customer. The chart on the slide shows the channel where Stoller is the supplier and maker of the product, markets in-house, and sells directly to customers at the winery. The dining pavilions fall into the B2C process because they're an added benefit to wine tasting at the venue. The product is not being sold, but could incentivize customers to visit Stoller wines, particularly during winter months, because they are safe, clean, and provide more variety to wine tasting. So if these pavilions increase Stoller's channel distribution success, the company will perform better than its competitors during this time. Next slide. Okay, and then the pricing strategy for this plan was determined by using a value-based approach. Installing the pavilions should help increase customers' perceived value of wine tasting at Stoller instead of Domaine Serene or Argyle, etc., because they'll be safer, more sanitary, and provide a great view of wine country all year round. The installation fees will result in a one-time large cost. There will also be routine maintenance fees, but those are expected to be minimal after that initial installation process. This cost will be reflected in wine memberships with a minimal increase of $5 per year per member for the next 3 years. The cost is nominal for the wine members, and the benefit will be that they are the only ones who can use the pavilions. The exclusivity of this increased cost will also increase these customers' perceived value. Okay, next.
Looking at the branding of Stoller Family Estate, their kind of main call out is this large cursive font. They have several different logos, but most noticeably, recently they've moved from more of the maroons and tans to a lot of black and white in their marketing materials. So moving forward to the next slide. We wanted to make sure that this felt like a true Stoller experience and potentially using some of this logoing on the pavilions. The brand promise of Stoller Family Estate is that the Stoller Pavilion experience will give you the same trusted quality wine and views we've had delivered on for over 25 years with a new peace of mind, given the new climate that we're all currently living in.
So looking at our marketing communication for the Stoller pavilions, we have to think strategically, and of course we want to keep our loyal customers as part of the base who will sign up for the wine club membership, but we also want to generate buzz to attract new customers, especially during the harvest seasons that are coming up ahead. Of course, there's a concern about a second wave of coronavirus, according to the Washington Post. So we want to make sure that these pavilions are not just sustainable to create and produce, source from local materials, but also that it can generate enough income to keep the company going and to keep staff on board. So the key messaging for the consumers is that the Stoller Family Estate sees them as family and wants to continue to serve them and celebrate their special life moments and milestones, as well as upholding public safety measures that will not only affect the consumer, but staff as well. And then looking at our marketing tools and budget, we want to leverage current partnerships with local media and sustain pavilion construction upkeep costs. Of course, the Stoller Family Estate has a camera that a lot of the local news channels like KGW, Fox 12 use during the weather segments. They already have this branded content, so this strategic planning, it would just be part of the ongoing budget that would provide opportunities to create new kind of advertisements and earn media as well. And then lastly, looking at our marketing communication goals, we want to create awareness of the new changes at the Stoller Estate but of these new pavilions. So we want to create brand awareness, and then we also want to not just create earned media locally in Oregon, but also nationally, as well as in social media. And that would be through blog posting on the Stoller Family website, which they have been great at updating. They also are very active on social media. They created a video that showcases staff wearing masks and how they're ready to welcome back their guests. So we just want to keep the social media goals in mind. That's of course through Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and then also pitching to travel and wine magazines and online advertising as well. And a way we can measure the success rate of the marketing campaign would be through web traffic, seeing where these wine memberships are coming from. Are they coming from our partnerships with local media? Are they coming through earned media or national media? And so that's something we can measure, of course, with Google Analytics or algorithms within the website.
Okay, So Sylvia touched on this a little bit, but the most critical determining factor in establishing if Stoller's marketing plan for dining pavilions has succeeded is through achieving a series of targets. There's no one single item. So each of these targets will be highly advertised through Stoller's social media channels, messaging systems, news channels, so that customers know what to expect and that this new service will be available when they return to Stoller Winery. So one of these would be just simply an increase in visitors and sales through the winter season, a higher volume of social media and traditional media coverage, keeping Stoller's people, which means customers and employees, healthy by incorporating contact-free dining tasting opportunities, even during the winter months, and maintaining customer flow through cold and flu season by installing the pavilions before winter 2020 begins. Go to the next one. And some ways where how we will measure these successes would be number one, through zero spread of COVID-19 at Stoller Winery, as the purpose of installing the pavilions is for protection. Measuring COVID transmission at the workplace is challenging, but it has been addressed by OSHA, and contact tracing will become a more common practice, and kind of kinks will be worked out. And then another one will be millennial social media engagement will increase by 25%. And earned media coverage from news channels such as KTU, KGW, the Oregonian, etc., will increase. The goal for measuring this success will come from at least one article or broadcast news story per week for the first 2 months of unveiling the new Wine and Dine pavilions. And then finally, wine club member signups will increase by 30% in the winter months. Okay.
All right, in summary, we feel that this is a really strong opportunity for Stoller to both protect its consumers and also attract new ones. Thank you so much for listening. Let us know if you have any questions.